Hello everybody, hope you're having a good Sunday. Thought I'd just check in to show you how my rowan I should say, medicine doll is coming on. If you're new here, please hit the like button, subscribe, share. This is Sarah here, Shamanic Guide, Way Shower. So, my rowan branch medicine doll. We were talking about faces last time, and you can see that that's kind of like a peaceful, in meditation type face going on. And I just thought I'd talk you through a little bit of while I'm sewing, and the whole point of medicine dolls is to allow one space to allow for downloads to come in, for inspiration to just drop in quietly while you're not thinking about anything else. And it's not about the sewing of a beautiful finished piece, and obviously you might want to do that if you're selling them, but that's not medicine. The medicine comes from just the connection and quiet time that you get into when you're actually sewing. So rowan in ancient folklore is a tree of protection, and also vitality, and the vitality comes from the berries. They're very rich in vitamin C. I think you can eat them when they're raw, but they're not so palatable, so it's best to cook with them and make some really lovely jelly to have with cheese or cold meats or whatever. They're absolutely packed with vitamin C. So I kind of made its head into a berry, and this represents the 5-star end of the berry that you can see there, and that 5-pointed star is very much associated with the occult. And like all medicine trees, they can be used for healing and for not such good work. So that 5-pointed star is very symbolic of its connection, the tree's connection to the unseen, to the occult, to the hidden. And I'm drying some of the berries to make a necklace that will go around there. So as I'm just sitting here sewing, not really thinking about how the finished piece is going to turn out. I like to add little bits of fabric, just drop some on the floor, and place them over the body shape, if you like, and then take a few stitches and sew them on. And as you're sewing, ideas will come to you about the relevance of this particular medicine. And it might not have anything to do with the rowan tree or the idea that you set out to make this medicine doll. Quite often, inspiration will come to you. Downloads will just drop in about, I don't know, allowing things to flow. This is what came to me this morning, is just to allow things to flow in my life rather than trying to control them, trying to make things go the way that I want to make them go, and just tacking on the barest minimum, as I am here, in making some adjustments in one's life, but really allowing spirit to do the work. And when I say spirit, I really mean that sort of higher energy, that higher universe, the cosmos, that thing that is bigger than us to guide and to allow your thoughts to flow to where they are meant to flow to. The ideas might come that you hadn't considered before. And while I sew, I listen to the birds, and I think about the rowan tree and its magic, and it being a portal to another world, and it being a protective tree. And there is great medicine in the actual making. It's not the doll itself. And as I've said before, there's a lot of people making a very nice living out of making spirit dolls that one might want, to hang in your sacred space, and that's fine, and that's that's all well and good, but it's not your personal medicine. Yeah, so I'm just tapping into my inner child here. I used to make funny little dolls and things when I was little, so I'm just thinking about that. And as I'm thinking about my youth and my childhood, so insights might be shown to me about that are relevant to my life now. And that's really how the medicine shows itself. And I just keep sewing. Quietly zigzagging my stitches across. Not really having a great plan of what I'm doing, but as I'm doing things, so ideas come to me. And I'm now beginning to sew what looks like a scar. And I might wonder to myself, what does that scar represent? Why is that showing itself to me now? And I think, like all scars, they come to the point of the scab, like all wounds, they come to the point of the scab, and the scab will fall off, and your skin will heal again. And I think, we're at that point now where, generally globally, I should say, people are working on their shadows. That there's some huge stuff going on in the world at the moment, and we've all been faced with our shadows in some way or another. And I believe it's time to let those go now. There's sometimes a resistance to letting our shadows go. Our ego likes to hold on to things, likes to hold on to victimhood, likes to hold on to reasons that we are the way we are. I'm like this because of him. I'm like this because of her. I'm like this because of another situation. Well, I think it's time we all let that go now. I mean, I've done years of shadow work, and the same things keep popping up, and I'm thinking that's because I'm holding on to them still. There's some element, although I can see the shadow, I'm still somehow holding on to parts of it, certain aspects of it that I still haven't worked through, that it's not somebody else's fault. And so, yeah, our ego likes to hold on to things, and we like to define our lives by past experiences. And so I think it's really time that we let all that go now. The earth, Gaia, Grandmother Earth, is raising her vibration. And I'm sure you can feel it, if you're any kind of any sensitivity to energies. We're all feeling this ascension of the planet. She's really vibrating, and I really notice it, especially in the mornings. Actually, when I'm sitting out on my bench there, out in the garden, I've got my bare feet on my grounding stone. I can really feel the fizzing in my feet or fizzing in the stone. can really connect to the earth's vibration. And that's good because, you know, I'm releasing any negative energy that I might be holding on to, but I'm also taking in negative ions, which is really beneficial for us. So I do think this time we are now asked to release those shadows now, good and proper. We've done the work. We've looked at them. We might, you know, come back to them at some later date if something pops up that's still triggering us, but I really feel it's time to let those scabs fall off our wounds and for our skin to heal itself properly and stop picking at them. Just let it go, let it fall off. And this is where the medicine lies. And just the musings as you're going along, ideas that might come into your head. Red threads. Why am I using red threads? I was thinking earlier, apart from the significance of the berries, but the red thread is about vitality. So I need to find perhaps some more vitality, joy. I've been lacking in joy in my life in recent times, and I'm ready to welcome that back in, whatever way that might look. I've forgotten the last time I felt really joyful and happy. Not because I'm in a difficult situation, but, you know, sometimes I feel overwhelmed by things and it seems frivolous to be joyful, but really that's what we're all here for, to be joyous and happy and enjoy our lives. Our lives shouldn't be full of woe. I mean, you know, you only have to go to a third world country and see how happy the children are there without any or without the trappings of Western life as what we consider to make us happy. They make themselves happy by playing games and singing and dancing. And if you went to a traditional, you know, ancient shaman from a shamanic tribe, and you said, I'm feeling ill, my mental health isn't good, my physical body is aching, the first thing he'd probably ask you is, when did you stop singing? When did you stop dancing? Feels that little puppy in there, it's calling out all the time. Nothing wrong with it, it's not hurt, it's just wanting attention. And we do that, don't we? We often cry like that, wanting attention, wanting somebody to notice that we're not feeling our best. And although, you know, we can now let those scabs go, we will need reminding from time to time how to do that, how to let all that go. And so that's the process that a medicine doll can help you with. So you just sit and sew. I mean, she looks a mess. But I look a mess sometimes. Sometimes it's a big mess in my head. But this is helping to just work it all out, work it all through. And then when you're finished, you can, or when you've got to the point where you don't want to do any more on a particular medicine doll, you can either bury her, him, it, to release that medicine for healing into Grandmother Earth. Or you can hang her up somewhere where you see her daily, just to remind you that those scabs have fallen off now and you don't need to keep picking at them. So that's what I'm doing today. Just sewing up those wounds so she can heal, so that the scabs will fall off and she'll heal. Have a lovely day. Ciao for now.